The interpretation of predestined ties. Xiefeng. May 28, 2012. Tie, a bond of information that will reconnect two lives in the future for favor, disgrace, or injury. Once you get a tie, it must be ended, otherwise their attractive force will be inescapable. Predestined ties, potential energy accumulates from the attractive forces between lives. It circulates in infinite space and eternal time until it reaches the point where it transforms into kinetic energy, releases it, and then causes the attractive force to disappear. Favorable ties, the information to be processed that remains in the negative universe which result from the love and honor between lives who bless each other and are eager to reunite. The information will never disappear until these wills are realized and the ties end. Good karma, one life gives another life a sincere blessing and a favor that will cause a corresponding gravity to return in the future. Evil karma, the hatred and debt between lives which never disappear until the hatred is settled or the debt is paid off. Worldly ties, all the information left and all the debts owed in the mortal world are called worldly ties. Marriage ties, the love-hate relationships between husbands and wives are called marriage ties. Celestial ties, a bond with a celestial being is called a celestial tie. End ties are when all debts are paid back. Following predestined ties, according to the arrangement of the universal scenario and plot, accept and play the assigned role with pleasure. Ties are kinds of invisible meshes which are established between lives. Divine punishments are slow, but always sure with big meshes, yet letting nothing slip through. Once getting a tie, it must be ended, otherwise you will be unable to escape their meshes. Worldly ties must be ended in the mortal world, heavenly ones must be ended in heaven, and hellish ones must be ended in hell. Ties are attractive forces. Those which are not ended will stay in tow forever, no matter how far apart in time or space, and they can never be escaped. Anyone who wants to go to heaven, must end all ties in the mortal world as soon as possible, whether they are good karma, evil karma, favorable ties, or marriage ties. As long as there are the ties, it is best to end them as soon as possible, otherwise you will be unable to leave the mortal world, and will have to reincarnate back into the mortal world of samsara to end the ties in future lives. The maturity we need and the maturity we don't need. Xiefeng. June 23, 2013. Only mature fruits have delicate, sweet flesh that is suitable for eating and rich in nutrients. Immature fruits are astringent, sour, lack moisture, and have coarse flesh. Therefore, one should eat only mature fruits. Only mature seeds have full grains, their life's non-material structure is perfect, and their vitality is abundant. This allows them to sprout, grow, flower, and bear fruit in the future. Therefore, the seeds stored in the granary must be mature. Only mature individuals are flexible, smooth, and boundless, like flowing water that adapts to any shape and continues indefinitely. They can unite seamlessly with heaven, earth, and humanity, without obstacles or hindrances. They can maintain harmony with all things in the universe without self-interest. They can merge with the Tao without individual desires, pursuits, attachments, or possessions. Therefore, only mature individuals can become celestial beings or Buddhas and live in the heavenly realms. However, this kind of maturity is not what is needed. Fruit that is picked before it is ripe and left to mature over a few days or a period of time is not desirable. Maturity that comes before childhood is complete, where someone becomes prematurely adult-like, is not needed. Maturity that appears before the end of adolescence, where someone is too mature for their age, is not needed. Maturity that appears before experiencing the vibrancy of youth, where someone is already too serious, is not needed. Maturity that appears before experiencing life's joys, happiness, freedom, and blessedness, where someone is already spiritually transformed, is not needed. Each stage of life should display its unique characteristics. Premature maturity goes against the Tao of the greatest creator and the natural laws. It is inhumane to prevent children from playing and instead demand that they be obedient and focus solely on academic knowledge. It is inhumane to prevent teenagers from being high-spirited and full of ambition, only to require them to study, think, and bear heavy burdens. It is inhumane to prevent young people from having dreams, fantasies, lofty ambitions, and indulging in the joys of youth, and instead require them to be practical, focus on making money, and struggle for survival. It is inhumane to deny people a life of joy, happiness, freedom, and blessedness, while insisting they endure hardship and suffering to achieve spiritual transformation. Buddha and celestial beings embody their nature. To fully live in one's nature is the will of the greatest creator in creating life. Therefore, any maturity that suppresses or destroys one's nature to force maturity is unnecessary. In reality, whether a being is a celestial being or Buddha is not determined by age, knowledge, experience, or understanding of spiritual practices, or if they have learned any profound theory or practicing method. If one lives in their true nature, they are already a celestial being or Buddha, a beautiful life united with the greatest creator. Thus, a 3 to 5-year-old child, if their spirit is untainted, is in a state of a celestial being. There is no need for someone to deliberately guide and educate them on becoming a celestial being or Buddha. If a prodigy is carefully guided and educated by experts, their talent might be obscured. Imagine telling a peach tree, you should grow well, absorb plenty of water and nutrients, maintain your peach tree nature, do not be lured by pear trees, and you should flower in spring, and the peaches you produce must taste like peaches. Is this necessary? The peach tree knows best how to grow, flower, and bear fruit. It understands natural laws better than humans and knows how to harmonize with nature. Humans should not guide or educate but should provide water and fertilizer. Premature maturity can be counterproductive. If a person does not live in their true nature but spends every day thinking about how to gain praise and eulogy by showing maturity, this kind of maturity is undesirable. Men should be men, and women should be women. A woman who is externally graceful but internally capable is considered a mature woman. A man who is externally strong but internally gentle and refined is considered a mature man. This kind of maturity is not the same as mature crops, but rather a distorted form of maturity. We would never consider a hen that lays eggs and crows to be immature, nor would we consider a rooster that crows and lays eggs to be mature. A rooster that crows in time and a hen that lays eggs in time is considered mature. If a hen stops laying eggs or a rooster stops crowing, it is time for them to be slaughtered. The meaning and distinctions between non-action and purposeful action. Xiefeng. March 10, 2011. Non-action, Wu Wei, aligns with the way of heaven. Purposeful action, Yu Wei, aligns with the way of humanity. Non-action means complete alignment with nature, operating according to objective laws, letting things rise and fall, bloom and wither, come and go with the seasons, wax and wane without worry or thought. As the Heart Sutra says, no sensation, no perception, no mental formations, no consciousness, no eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or mind, no form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or objects of mind, no realm of the eye, up to and including no realm of mind consciousness, no ignorance and no ending of ignorance, up to and including no old age and death, and no ending of old age and death, no suffering, no cause of suffering, no cessation of suffering, and no path, no wisdom and no attainment with. Nothing to attain. It means to be free from delusional dreams, to have a heart without attachment, fear, or dwelling, to be unselfish and free from desires, to accept things as they are, follow the natural flow of relationships, act in accordance with one's nature, and seize opportunities as they arise. Purposeful action, Yu Wei, involves fully utilizing one's intelligence, maximizing the satisfaction of desires and needs, and using one's will to change everything around them according to their own wishes. Non-action is like the ocean, purposeful action is like the waves. Sakyamuni Buddha said, all sages and saints are distinguished by their practice of non-action. Purposeful action represents the common people, the multitude of sentient beings, non-action represents the sages and saints. The difference between wisdom and foolishness is measured by whether one practices non-action or purposeful action. Sages practice non-action, while the foolish practice purposeful action. Thus, the Tao Te Ching states, therefore, the sage deals with affairs through non-action and teaches without words. The way of the greatest creator is the non-action, yet nothing is left undone way. Those who follow the way of the greatest creator must enter a state of non-action. I have already explained the 8 characteristics of the way of the greatest creator. Before the way of the greatest creator, all human efforts are insignificant. Only by merging with the way can we attain the way and become one with it. Why should we merge with the way? Because only by merging with the way can we achieve eternal life, become celestial beings, handle all affairs effortlessly, and attain wisdom and freedom in the vast universe. In reality, merging with the way means merging with the greatest creator. When this happens, the wisdom of the greatest creator becomes our wisdom, and we enter the Elysium world. As long as a person has selfish desires, as long as they possess or wish to possess something, as long as their heart is attached, has desires, worries, or anxieties, they will inevitably engage in purposeful action and will not become a saint, celestial being, or Buddha. As long as a person's heart is tied to marriage, family, religion, political parties, or nations, as long as they have thoughts, family ties, property, status, or reputation, as long as they worry about food, clothing, shelter, transportation, birth, aging, illness, and death, as long as they have desires, dependencies, hopes, fears, worries, or anxieties, they are undoubtedly practitioners of purposeful action. All their actions and words are manifestations of purposeful action, not non-action. The highest state of life is to have nothing. Only by having nothing can one reach heaven, the free world. Having nothing allows one to possess everything. The more unselfish one is, the more they achieve their desires. The more one possesses, the more troubles they encounter, and the further they are from heaven. The more one practices non-action, the more they can accomplish without effort. I established the second home and urge you to strive to enter it because only in the second home can you gradually enter a state of non-action. In the secular world, not only will you fail to understand non-action, but even if you do, you cannot reach the state of non-action. In the secular world, you can only practice purposeful action. I have paved a smooth path to heaven for you. As long as you follow the path I have laid out for you, your future will be bright and indescribably wonderful. Remember, all conditioned phenomena are like a dream, an illusion, a bubble, a shadow, like dew or a flash of lightning, thus should you view them.